Hello, and welcome to Worldwide Christian Family Network Ministries and Studios. We have a special guest in the studio today who is releasing a new album. Stay tuned to see who he is and hear about his new album. Hello, my name is John Arms, and I'm here at WCFN Studios. And I have a guest I've been working with for the last year. As a matter of fact, he just put out a brand new album named Been So Good. So I'd like to introduce you to Marcus Ellis.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing, John?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
Okay, Marcus, I have some questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
You just put out a brand new album, but for my first question, I want to ask you, why did you start playing?
Why did I start playing music? I was inspired to play music. I grew up in church, and as a little boy, I would always watch them play the music. And so I always had that desire in me to want to play music.
Okay. For my second question, who was your first teacher?
My first teacher, that's a very good one. I believe your first teacher becomes when you are inspired, just like I said with the other question. But I believe my first natural teacher was my father. I grew up the kind of father that wanted the best, wanted the best for his children. So I would say my father was my best teacher.
I understand there was a little incident with you playing his guitar. Why don't you tell us about that?
Where you get this information, but okay, we'll tell you about that. John, my father was very particular about his instruments. He'd be the type to always wipe them off when he got done playing and make sure everything was put in the case properly and right. And he was just showing us, how we're supposed to be as well. And so he would go to work. And I told, like I said, I had this desire to play and this inspiration. And so he'd go to work and I would get his guitar out of the case.
Mark, are you telling me there was little fingerprints all over that guitar?
And not only the fingerprints, but something was always left out.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, he would put his picks in a certain place, and he would take off his strap and actually fold it up and put it in the proper way. And with me, I would always leave something undone. So he knew exactly that I was into his guitar.
You were the culprit, huh?
Yes, I were. Yes, I was.
Okay, describe your first instrument.
My first instrument. This is really good. I like this. I remember as a little boy, I was probably 7, maybe 8 years old when I first got my first instrument. And I look back at that now, and I still have memories of that. It was a Decca guitar. I don't know if you remember the Decca guitars. And Mom and Dad knew I wanted that guitar. And at that point in time, I think they were only like $40-$50. G.C. Murphy's, downtown Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
Where
I remember G.C. Murphy's.
You remember that store?
I remember Decca guitars too.
Yeah, Fountain Square is where it was, there in Indianapolis, downtown. And the Decca guitars, I don't know if they make them anymore, but boy, I would sure like to have a replica of that.
I tell you what, my first guitar was harmony guitar. It was a harmony.
I remember the harmony guitar.
And it was a 3/4 guitar.
Yes.
It wasn't a full-length guitar, it was 3/4. And they don't make them anymore.
No.
I wish I'd have had that. I think my parents sold them, but if I still had a guitar, it'd be worth some money now.
I was getting ready to say, but even at that, being worth the money, it'd be worth more to you to have the guitar.
That's right, yeah.
Sentimental value.
Yeah, sentimental value. That was my first guitar. I should have kept it, man.
I agree.
But I didn't know my parents were going to sell it. I think they sold it. They probably got tired of hearing me play.
Oh well.
Okay, what are your fondest musical memories in your home while you were growing up?
Well, there were several of them that we've had fondest memories. I can remember every Friday night we would first have Bible study. We'd always have Bible study first before anything else, and Mom and Dad would order pizza and things like that, and it was always around the same time, around 6 o'clock at night. We get done with all that, and we get out the instruments. We drag out all the instruments, and we set it up in the living room. My brother had those, I don't remember, Slingerland drums.
Yeah.
He had the Slingerland drums. They were gold, sparkle.
Oh, yeah.
So we set everything up in the living room, and the PA system, microphones, everything. And one of my fondest memories is how that it drawed all of our neighbors around.
Yeah.
And they didn't complain. They would actually line outside of the
Yeah.
fence just to hear the music.
Yeah.
So my mother, being the woman that she is, she would invite them in
Yeah.
to listen to the music. So it was like our own coffee house. If you
Well,
will.
you've got a great mom and dad, Mark. I met both of them, and I
Thank
love
you.
them. They're good people. Okay, my next question is, who are your biggest influences? I know your dad is,
Yes.
and he's been for a long time, but who else besides your dad?
My mother was the type to always push me forward. When Dad, and I kind of had to reiterate this, because when Dad would say, no, don't bother my guitar.
Go ask Mom.
Isn't that typical kid?
It is.
And so my mother would always say, now if you're going to get your dad's guitar out, then you have to put it back just like you found it.
Right.
But I didn't put it back exactly like I found it, so that was my fault. But Mom always had within her the best for her children,
Yeah.
and she wanted us to play music.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
That's one of my greatest and fondest memories of my music.
Okay, Mark, another question I want to ask you is, what's your songwriting process? How do you come about getting songs, and do you do the melody first and the lyrics later, or lyrics first, or is it a combination?
Really, it is a combination, but it's a process. Each little thing. I may have just a word to inspire me.
Okay.
I may have a couple words come to me and say, well, that'd be, or a title of a song, and that'd be a good song.
Okay.
But then it's not enough, because you have to apply more than that. So I'll sit down with the guitar and a recorder, and even though it may not sound right the first few times, and it's like anything else, anything that's going to become good or successful, you have to work at it. And so I have to work at it. I spend countless hours sometimes, and other times I spend 15 minutes to write a song. And so that ain't nothing but the hand of God, though, John.
Yeah.
Nothing but the hand of God.
And how is that 2488 working out for you?
Oh, that works out really good, because now I don't have to just put them on my phone, a recorder, or some other type of recorder or something, but now I kind of like have my own home studio.
Yes.
To where, and that doesn't leave out WCFN. They've been really good to me, and I appreciate that so much. But it inspires me to want to write even more, and put more into my music, because I can record everything. I can dub in the music, the different music parts and everything, until I decide where I want to go with it.
That's a machine that's built for an artist, and especially a songwriting artist. It's really good multi-track recorder. It's got a lot of things in it, but it just doesn't have the preamps of our big board here.
24 tracks is a lot of tracks.
Yeah, well, it is. It
Yes,
is.
it
It's
is.
good, but it doesn't have the preamps on it. You can buy other preamps, but I don't think it replaces the studio. Do you?
No, I do not. No, there is a big difference, and I want to encourage those out there, today that if you're looking to record professionally, then you need to go to the professionals to do so. You could record your own CD, but 9 times out of 10, it probably wouldn't fly like it would if you were in a professional studio.
And we've been doing this. We've been working together for what? Last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, at least 5 years.
And so
Yes.
our first album was done on the 2488, but once we got a little bit of money, we've got more outboard gear, and then we've got we got the big 48 channel board now.
Yeah.
And-
48 track studio is pretty awesome.
And then we got everything set up in the back here,
Mhm.
and we work on that in propeller head. I've got
I was just getting ready to mention propeller head.
I got Pro Tools, but
Yeah.
we kind of like using propeller head. It kind of gives a little more versatility.
Oh, yes.
And it doesn't hang up
Oh,
as
yes.
much.
Oh yes.
But, what were you going to say, brother?
All the things that propeller head offers. I never realized it until I got with you. But all the things that it offers, it's worth it. Whatever you have to. I mean, you don't want to look for something that is not going to be of any value to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to look at the long view.
It's got to grow with you.
Yes, it has to grow
Yeah.
with you.
So yeah, we've used a couple of plug-ins, vocal plug-in, guitar plug-ins, drum
Well,
plug-ins.
That's what I was getting ready to say. All the different plugins is great. You can put chorus on there, you can put flanger on there,
Yeah.
you can put sustain on there,
Yeah.
whatever you want to put on there,
Yeah.
you can put on there.
Yeah.
And I'm big on compression. I love compression.
I know you do. You say put more compression on it and say let's do it again.
Yes.
Okay, would you ever co-write with other artists?
Yes. It has crossed my mind several times. I am a writer that can start a song, and to some that's the hardest thing. But once you get a song started, people want to get in there and say, "Hey, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" And that's wonderful. I would love to co-write or help someone along in that area. How can I start a song?
A lot of time, co-writing with somebody else
Yes.
or being a co-musician really gives a different slant on everything, so that you come up with a combined idea, which is different than individual ideas. So you've got a lot more to play with there.
And like, okay, I never thought of that way. I never thought of that,
Yeah.
and it works out so beautifully.
Right.
But I think the main thing there is when you are a co-writer, you really have to be careful what lyrics that you're going to put in there, because the lyrics are everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, Mark, how often do you, and how long do you practice? How often and how long?
Oh, I wish my wife were here. She would tell you these stories.
They tell all, don't they?
Yes, my wife. I tell you, my wife's put up with it for 25 years. So I'm thankful for her.
I got a lot of respect for your wife, Mark.
I practice all the time. When I'm not at work, when I come home from work, one of the first things I do is I go up there to the piano and I just mess around with the piano a little bit and the keyboard or my guitar or something, and I'll turn on the 2488 and just, even if I don't have a total song or whatever, and so I practice different lead parts. I listen to different Southern gospel and blues and all that, and try to do the fills that they do, and so I think you got to put your all into it. And sometimes I'll practice. I would say I practice at least 5 days a week.
And that shows up in your music too, Mark.
Thank you so much.
I've noticed over a period of time Mark's improvement as a musician. But even when he started out, he was way better than me. He's an excellent musician.
Now he calls me Mark.
Marcus, his
We've been
name's
friends
Marcus.
a long time, but this one.
Yeah. So I just want to put in there, he's an excellent musician. He comes into the studio, he knows what he's going to play, and we just kind of put a microphone on him or plug him in. And
Oh, so I'm like that propeller head, just so I become this plug-in. That's good. That's good, John.
but he, I put him, anything I put him on the drums, he does fantastic. Put him on keyboards, he plays the fancy stuff. Doing lead, man, he's got some really knockout leads, and he's just a good all-around musician.
I thank you,
And
sir.
if you guys are out there too, and you want to make a song, if you want to record a song, Mark, you are a studio musician.
Yes, yes.
For a little fee, a nominal fee.
Yes.
You're going to have a great musician doing great things for you.
I've done that in the past. I've done that with other people. Played lead guitar behind them, and there was a friend of mine in Kokomo that I'd done the same thing with as well. But I enjoy doing that. Yes.
But he knows when to get loud, when to get soft, when to come in, when to go out.
Yes.
And he's also really good at arranging music too.
Thank you.
And he's a great music writer, a great song musician. He's a good all-around musician. He does it all. He does the songs, he does the music, and I'm trying to teach him how to run the 48 channel there so I can retire. But he's doing great in that, and I would suggest him. He mainly works in blues and maybe some country and maybe Southern gospel. But I would suggest Mark to just about any project because he can pick it up and he can blend in.
I thank you so much.
So that'll lead me to the next question, Mark. How do you handle mistakes during a performance?
Oh man. What performer doesn't make some kind of mistake? There's none of us out there that are perfect by no means.
Absolutely.
And so how I handle mistakes is I just keep on smiling.
Yeah, you got to.
I just keep on.
Keep on going.
If I mess up on a word, man, automatically my mind is like I've got to replace that word because
He is pretty fast.
Remember that word.
He's got a quick wit, and he's quick on the draw when he's playing music too. Blend in. Okay, let's see. Our next question is, how do you balance your music with other obligations like family and church
and that's a big question there.
Yeah.
And I've heard this question before. The balance is everything. First of all, in my life, God is first. Above all
As it
else,
should be.
God is first. Secondarily, it is not my music secondarily, it is my wife. And then my children, which I have two beautiful daughters.
Yeah.
And so that's the order. And when you set those things in order, it just comes naturally. So my wife, she understands, how much I love my music and things. But as far as the balance with work, work is a necessity. We all have to work, So if I didn't work, I wouldn't be able to do these
Right,
recordings.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that.
So the balance is definitely love God first, and then I love my wife as Christ loved the church, and then my children. I have to take care of my children. That's my obligation to God, and not only that, but I love my children.
Yeah.
And then my music.
Yeah.
Then my music falls in that line. Now I'm not talking about. I don't. That's not to say that I don't love my immediate family, my mom, my father. I love my parents. I love my brothers. I have two brothers and I have one sister, and so I love them as well. But that's the category. That's how I balance it out with the life. Cause you have to live everyday life.
Yeah.
But my music would be after all
Yeah.
that.
And to look at that in correct perspective too, your music is also your ministry.
Yes, it is.
Other than being a pastor,
Yes, it is.
and he's a good pastor too, but his ministry is his music too, and that's part of that. And
Yes.
I thank Sharon and your family, Ashley, for giving you up on those
Thank
long
you.
nights that we spent here in the studio.
Thank you.
And we'd meet at 10 o'clock, and sometimes Mark and I wouldn't get out of the studio. There's a couple times, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, remember?
Is it 2 or 3 o'clock?
And there was
in
at
the morning?
least
We
2
were
or 3
here.
times, yeah.
We were here till almost 4 one morning, and my wife said, "Honey, are you planning on staying all night?" I'm like, well, I already did, but I'll be home in a couple hours. So, but it takes that. It takes that. It takes the sacrifice. If anything good's going to come out of it, you got to put everything into it.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, I'd like to thank Sharon and Ashley and the family for letting them come up here and do those long hours. We didn't spend all. It wasn't that way all the time, but we normally a normal day for Marcus and I, and we did it Mondays because he had to work through the week.
Mhm.
So we had a whole day on Monday where we would come in at 10 a.m. and we would at least work till 7 or 8 o'clock.
At least.
Yeah, at least 7 or 8 o'clock.
At least, and sometimes after work. After
There
work,
is
I would come straight
there's
from
sometimes
work
you did,
and
yeah.
come to the studio.
Yeah.
It still had to be done.
So it was a dedicated thing. It was a pleasure working with Mark, and it was a blast doing it. It was a blast doing it. We had fun.
Hmm.
Sometimes we had a bunch of guys in here. Sometimes it was just me and Mark. And I don't know. I look back at that. I've got pictures up all over the studio of us over the last years that remind us kind of those good points and those good times when we were working on albums and things. And it's been a blast. It really has. Okay, so that leads to the next question, Mark.
Oh, we have another question.
Yes, we have a few.
All right.
This one is this is basically it leads from the last question we had.
Mhm.
What caused you to record at WCFN?
What caused me to record at WCFN? You mean after we went through, when I met you, the first thing you done was I asked you to do a CD for my daughter, Ashley,
Right.
because she really sings well and all those things. And I was introduced to you by my neighbor.
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah, I was introduced
Paul's a good guy.
to you.
Paul Brown.
And then I introduced you to Brother Steve Daniels.
And you know what I always say. Paul took John to meet Mark.
Yeah.
Paul
and,
took John to Mark.
and that's that connection.
Kind of like being disciples, isn't it?
That's how that works. It was through connection. So how I started recording with WCFN, it's all because of that connection. You and I always stayed in contact.
Yeah.
We always stayed in contact.
But there's another connection too, wasn't there, Mark?
There was an interconnection.
Or Marcus, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes, there was.
Marcus and I, when we met each other, we felt like we were destined to meet each other.
Yes.
We clicked off right together, and then
Yes.
we both felt that there was some reason why we got together, and now we know, don't we, Mark?
Yes, we did.
I think God had plans back then for Mark to lay this album, and it's been great. It's been a blessing too. And it's,
You're going to continue calling me Mark, but that's
Marcus.
okay. It's okay.
Marcus, I'm
On the
sorry.
album, it is Marcus, but you and I are friends, so I'm going to allow you to call me Mark.
I appreciate that. Okay, next question, Marcus. Will your album be available in brick and mortar stores and online?
Absolutely. We're all receiving results of those things. I know CD Baby
Yes.
has the album now, and you can go to CD Baby's store online, and you can see the album right there, and you can order digitally for like $10. I think it's $9.99, and then you can get the actual CD for $15.
Marcus' album is called Been So Good. So eventually you can go to iTunes, you can go to, there's 25,000 brick and mortar stores that you can go to. It's online at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, and a whole bunch of other online stores. Some I've never heard of, Mark. But now it's not online right now. It is at CD Baby, and you can buy the physical disc or you can buy the digital download. We suggest you get the physical disc. I don't have one here with me, Mark. I should have brought one down. But we suggest you get the physical disc, and because the artwork on it, we took pains, didn't we, Mark?
Yes.
To get that artwork right.
Yes.
It's got a great shot on the inside cover of Mark.
And there's one time that I was impatient there. That was one time.
He was.
I was very impatient there.
Is it here yet? Is it here yet?
Is it here yet? Is it here yet? And, you know, and it goes, the fans are everything.
Oh, yeah.
Fans are everything. People, I've always been a people person.
Yeah.
And so those people, being a people person, I felt pressure inside. I felt like, man, I got to please these people, you know, because they really want an answer.
Yeah, and you got to stir your fan base. You got to keep them stirred up.
Yes.
So, yeah, and you know, it's a real blessing to get Mark's album. You sold quite a few of them. He bought me a check today.
Yes.
But he sold quite a few of them, and
still some.
it's kind of a lengthy process, isn't it, Mark, to get that album out? It's not easy. You've got to upload graphics. You got to upload the songs.
Yes.
You got to take the pictures and make the graphics. The graphics have to be a certain resolution, certain DPI, and the songs have to be in a certain format too. You got to. We had how many songs did we copyright on yours?
I think I was 7.
7 songs on the album, and then 2 of them we had to license. No, I meant.
Yeah.
2 of them we licensed, and 1 was public domain.
Well, because 1 was so old.
Yeah, 1 was so old.
1964, I think it was.
Yeah, but that's all things you have to go through to get an album made. It's not easy. Recording the album itself is just the beginning. You have to mix and master and work with the files and get them up. And sometimes we redid files if it didn't sound right. Sometimes we scrapped that song and made a whole new song because it
new track
because it didn't fit our expectations and our willingness to do excellence.
Or the way, just like every heartache, it started off being more of a blues.
Yes.
Hard blues type song, and then it started. Then I said we're going to mellow that out. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
we mellowed that song out, and it sounds so much better now.
And I remember a couple of times you came back and said something about, well, this track isn't right. Let's just take that out.
Yes,
and it worked. It worked. It sounded better.
Yes,
there was something in the song that we go back through, and it wasn't quite right for some reason. We couldn't quite put our finger on it.
Yes.
Mark went home. He listened to the CD. I give him a CD every time he comes into the studio, so he can go back home and listen to all the songs we've done so far.
That was expensive in itself, wasn't it?
Well,
make the CD.
No, but we had to use the RW and put it back on the RW.
Yes.
So you always had that.
Yes, I did.
But so it was a great thing, and we're expanding, and we're learning how to use more things, and we're really. We're getting a few new things, yeah, but we're trying to learn as much as we can about what software and what things we have now.
Yes.
Because there's a whole bunch of things about instruments and all that. Well, anyway. Okay, I guess we're down to the last one. Oh, wait a minute. No, I got 2 more. Are you doing concerts, Mark?
Yes and no. I done one in Shelburne, Indiana, outside, and it was just phenomenal. It was a motorcycle car show.
Really?
Going on. Yes.
I put one of those together at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. It was. I mean, it was phenomenal just to be out amongst the people.
Yeah.
You know, outside where people could actually hear my songs, and it was a good turnout as well. And then I play, and I've had opportunities to go to different churches and sing my songs as well. Yeah. So as far as the real concert aspect of it was Shelburne, Indiana, was outside. That's the only one I've done, but looking forward to doing more.
Yeah. But yeah, you're going to be going to different churches and promoting your music and. Playing for the congregation and stuff.
Yes.
But was that one you're talking about? Was that the last one you did? Is that the one I know about?
The last concert that I did was at our church.
Yeah.
It was at our home church in Crawfordsville, 308.
And that's a different one, right?
That was a definite concert. Also had a group called the Redeemed.
Yeah.
I actually opened up for them. They were a really good group.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I'll just open up for you instead of you opening up for me.
Yeah, I believe I got a little bit of footage on that. They are pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Let's see. Marcus Ellis, do you have plans for another album?
I do. I am so excited about it. I've written 6 songs already. Working on my 7th song for the next album. Next album, however, it will be Southern Gospel all the way.
All the way through.
All the way through. Be Southern Gospel. Hopefully to have a steel guitar player. If you know of a good one, man, I could use a good steel guitar player. I do have a guitar player now, though. So the future plans is not only the recording in the studio and all that, because we have to do our CDs, but when I do go out in concert, it would be nice to do a live with a live band as well. And I do have a guitar player now that said he would love to come with me.
And we'll probably be doing a few more videos here in the studio of maybe a live band performance. So thank you, Marcus Ellis.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for coming. While Marcus Ellis gets ready, I'm going to, he's going to play a song for us. Which one are you going to play, Mark, do you think?
I thought about what song to actually do, and I believe that track 7 would be the best one that I could do. And I'm not going to tell the audience what track 7 is yet.
You have to wait and see it.
It's coming.
Why don't you go ahead off stage, Mark, and I'll finish up here, and then we'll get you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Yes, that's Marcus Ellis here at WCFN Studios, and we really encourage you to buy the Been So Good album. We worked hard on that, and we spent many hours here in the studio. It's a fantastic album. Marcus is a great writer, a great musician. Buy the album and find out. It's only $15 for the album, and on CD Baby right now you can get it for $9.99 on a digital download. So we'd appreciate it if you would decide maybe to buy the album. And we'd appreciate your prayers too here at WCFN as we go about God's work. He's our senior partner, and he is what we do it all for. And here's Marcus Ellis singing a new song off of his new album, I'm Gonna Live for Him.
You know, we're living in a world where people are searching and they don't know which way to turn. They're looking for something. They need direction in their lives. But my friends, the answer is in Jesus Christ. If you're out there looking for direction to go, let me tell you about a man who came and saved my soul. He brought me out from a world of sin. From now on, I'm gonna live for Him. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm got my mind upon Jesus all of the time. Now friend, don't doubt, only believe every word of God. Blind read, yeah, yeah, yeah. Only believe. So if you're out there looking for direction, go. Let me tell you about a man who came and saved my soul. His name is Jesus. He saved my soul.
Wow, that was a great song done by Marcus Ellis. The song name is I'm Gonna Live for Him, and that is off of his Been So Good album. I also want to say too that the album is going to be available at stores like Target and Walmart and some of those others. And so you can get those at brick and mortar stores. You should be able to get his album. And then digital stores like Spotify and iTunes and Amazon Music and Apple Music. It's going to be on there too, so you might want to check out your different your favorite online. Online, the album is going to sell for $9.99. The physical disc from the store will be $15. And you can also buy it from Mark too, if you want to call his number or call here at WCFN. We have copies here too, and we'll sell you an album. We'll put it in the mail if you want us to do that. We can do that. I want to also mention that Marcus Ellis is going to have a concert at Franklin Road, and for any other concert, that one's coming up pretty soon. But any other concert, you can contact Marcus Ellis at his phone number, or preferably probably by email. I think sometimes that's the easiest way to do it. And so also you can email us here at john.arms@wcfnstudios.org or john.arms@armsassociates.com. The number here is 317-947-7678, 317-947-7678. And I also like to have Marcus come on back out here. We want to make a special presentation to Marcus. Come on out, Marcus.
All right.
That was an excellent song, brother.
Thank you so much, John.
In fact,
Appreciate it.
that's one of my favorite songs.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, Marcus, we spent the last year putting this album together, and we've done a lot of hard work.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to present you with this plaque. Now it's it's on behalf of WCFN Studios and from Disc Makers. And this is a picture of the plaque we're going to present Marcus with right here. Here's the front of his CD. Here's the CD itself, and here's an engraving down here. And I like to read that to you. It's actually comes from Disc Makers. Congratulations, Marcus Ellis, on the release of Been So Good, January 2019. And so I want to present this to Marcus right now. Congratulations, Marcus.
Thank you, sir.
And I think you earned this over the time that we spent together.
Thank you
So I'd like
much.
to present this to you.
Thank you so much. I will cherish this. This will go up in my music room for sure. For sure.
It's just something you can put up on the wall and you can remember all the time we put in with it. And it has mostly happy memories.
I was just sitting there thinking, did they give you a copy as well of this whole thing? But I believe you should get a copy.
Yes, I ordered a copy. I I'm going to display it in my office, or eventually I'll probably bring it down and display it in the studio.
Awesome.
But I got the same copy of that at the
Oh.
studio. So, and all the artists that come into WCFN Studios and record with us, I'm going to put I'm going to order one for the studio, and then I'll probably end up ordering one for the artist too.
Oh, that's nice.
But, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You always had such a kind heart, and I do appreciate that. And it's been a pleasure working with WCFN Studios.
Well,
So,
I believe God has blessed WCFN Studios. It was a pleasure working with you, and I can't wait to do the second album, the
Yeah.
next album.
it's
That'll
coming
be more
soon,
fun.
isn't it?
You got what? 7 songs ready for the next album?
I got 6. I have 6
6.
songs right now that is finished
Yeah.
and completed. The next album will be coming out. Well, we'll start. I won't know when it's coming out. I won't say that, but it will start in the summer. So, like at the beginning of summer, I'd like to get started on
So
that.
probably in
album as well.
a few months, Marcus will be back in the studio, and we will be working on the next album. And you think that one's good? The next one's going to be, it's going to blow your hat off. I'll tell you.
Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate it very much. But you know, I couldn't do anything without it being the hand of the Lord.
Oh yeah.
Without the hand of the Lord, you know, He's been on this whole project. I'd be going into different. You mentioned brick and mortar stores. We went to a Cracker Barrel. Went to a Cracker Barrel, and I let this lady listen to the album because I'm trying to promote the albums and trying to sell those albums. And she's like, "I want one of them albums." and,
Yeah.
and so
I think that's going to be a lot of people's going to be saying.
I had them with me. Anytime if someone sees me out, I want them to know also that if you ever see me out somewhere, I will always have a CD with me. I will always have something with me in the car or on my person or something.
True salesman. True salesman. So.
Would you lay that over there for me, please?
Sure I will. So Marcus Ellis, I tell you what, it's been great having you here, and we look forward to the next album, WCFN, and we're proud to have you as an associate and a client as well. And so this is John Arms here at WCFN Studios, signing off. You can go online and go to WCFNstudios.org, and you can see our website too. We're on Facebook. We got things on Twitter. We got things on YouTube. And so God bless you all. And we would actually like your prayers. We would appreciate your prayers.
Yes.
And so this is John Arms and Marcus Ellis here at WCFN Studios signing off.
God bless.
We hope you have enjoyed our program today, and I hope you will tune in again. See more at WCFNstudios.org. That's WCFNstudios.org. This is John Arms, your host, saying over and out.